YouTube, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're just hanging out in the garage. The wife's at work. It's President's Day, so a lot of people are out and about. I tried to go get some pictures of the truck in downtown OKC, but that didn't work out too well due to the fact that everybody's freaking down there right now. Today is like a 60-degree day, a little overcast. It was supposed to be like mid-60s and sunny, but that obviously ain't the case. So yesterday washed the truck, got her all cleaned up, hit her with the foam cannon, you know, put a little tire shine on her, make her look a little pretty. And now she's just out there hanging out. So I cleaned up the garage. I'll show you guys a little bit what I did in here. It was a mess. It was kind of getting cluttered under the bench, but pretty much pulled everything out from underneath the bench, swept, and then I cleaned up this area of the garage. It was pretty rough. So yeah, I got that all cleaned out. And then these parts over here are not for a Ram. These are actually for a F-150, my old F-150. There's some struts in there. There's a brand new set, and then there's just a slightly used set. Selling those to a guy here locally. Disregard the Ford sign. And then I did have a box show up for the next big thing I'm going to be doing. It's not gears, but it's going to be something else. It's more preventative maintenance more than anything. So it's going to be, when I get all the parts, I'll let you guys know what we're going to be doing. So what today I wanted to cover was a topic that you may think about or people may have questions about. And I don't mean to sound uppity or anything when I say this, but the topic is going to be, can you afford a diesel? And what I mean by that is not just can you afford the payment? What I'm trying to get at is, can you afford to customize it, say like you would want to, right? When I bought this truck, it had a lot of stuff done to it. Like I've already stated in the past, it had the aesthetics, you know, the lift, wheels, and tires. So since then, I've added a lot of stuff to it. And what I want to slowly go over that stuff and then compare certain things. So here we go. All right, so some things I want to cover are, you know, there's going to be like customizing, there's going to be tuning, and then there's going to be just basic maintenance, right? So for basic maintenance, the thing I'm getting at is the diesel, say diesel oil change, you know. So what is that going to run you? I use AMSOIL products, and I do use just a Mopar filter. I don't use the AMSOIL filter itself. But so just for the parts, what I say, the oil and the filter itself, one of my buddies charges me 120 bucks to get the oil and the filter. So that's just the oil and the filter. Now, I used to have one of my friends do it when he worked in a mechanic shop. He would charge me like 20 bucks. So all in all, it'd be 140 bucks. I don't know what Jiffy Lube or whatever, Walmart Express, what they're going to charge you to change the oil, or if you're just going to actually take it to them and they'll provide the oil and the filter and they'll change it themselves. I've seen on some of the forums that guys are getting oil and their fuel filters change, and they're at the dealership, and it's well over 500 bucks. I want to say it's like 560 bucks. So those are some things you need to think about. The truck holds almost double amount of the oil that it does, that a gas truck does. So my F-150 held about 7 quarts. It was a 6.2. This truck holds, I want to say 13 and a half. I'm not sure. It's been a while, so don't quote me on that. It's been like 2,000 miles, but 2,000 miles ago was in July. So it's been a while for me since I changed the oil, and I don't really write down all that stuff. So forgive me on that. Next thing I wanted to talk about was segue into fuel filters, right? A stock truck has the cartridge filter that's on the block. So I have a 2014. So I think 2013 to current have the cartridge filter or the canister filter that's on the block itself. And then they have the water separator that is back below the bed right by the fuel tank. To change those with the Mopar brand, I want to say it was 96 bucks was stock. I did the diesel fuel filter kit for 60. The kit cost 250 bucks, but the actual filters themselves to replace are $68. So it was a little bit of cost up front, but at the same time, it was it saves me in the long run when it comes to changing fuel filters quite often. And I haven't changed my fuel filters in over a year. I probably need to, but it's only been, I want to say 7,000 or 8,000 miles since I've changed my fuel filters. Like I said, guys, I was deployed a lot. I didn't drive the truck a lot, so it did sit, and that's hence why it doesn't actually get a lot of miles spent on it. So the cost of fuel, right? So you have let's talk about that. You have gas, which is 30 cents cheaper where I live at right now than diesel. My wife's Mercedes takes premium, which is actually 40 cents more expensive than your 87 octane. She has to have it at 91. That's actually more expensive than my diesel. The diesel's 10 cents cheaper than the premium. So all in all, diesel is going to be a little bit more expensive, but if you plan on doing anything to this truck, customize, say lifting it, putting wheels and tires on it, on a regular gas truck, you're going to lose miles per gallon or fuel economy so quickly. So I had my last truck, 2014 F-150 with a 6.2, I was getting like 11 miles per gallon. All I had was a leveling kit and like 34s, 295, 60, 20s. So I was getting like 14, at best 14 miles per gallon, but city around 11.2 is what it told me. On a diesel truck with a lift wheels and tires, you know, a 6-inch lift, 37-inch tires with 342 gears, on this truck I'm getting about 14.5 miles per gallon. The best I've ever received, or best ever gas mileage I've ever gotten in this truck was 18.5 to maybe 19 miles per gallon. That's when I drove from Oklahoma City to Memphis. So that's one of the benefits of having a diesel, is just you're gonna get better gas mileage just for the simple way it burns. So that's gonna be a plus when having a diesel compared to a gas with just the lift and wheels. So
there's the fuel filter relocation kit. It comes with a black bracket and then that additional thing to add the fuel filter right here. So comes with everything you need, easy access, and yeah, just easy to change. It'd help a lot easier than digging under the hood with that one canister filter.
all right, so one of the last things I'll hit on in this video is going to be customizing. So on a half-ton pickup, you usually have an independent front suspension. Back in the day, those lift kits were a heck of a lot more expensive than a solid front axle suspension. Now, what you're looking at, they're pretty much the solid front axle on my truck for a BDS 6-inch lift that I have just built, not labor costs or anything. If I build the same kit that I have on their website, is $4,800, give or take 20 bucks, right? So the 6-inch lift, I have the dual shock coupe, Fox 2.0 shocks, the dual steering stabilizer. I don't have the track bar, so I didn't throw that in there, but that is 4,800 bucks built on their website. I also have the brake lines or whatever. So what I did was I built the most high-end kit I could find for a Ram 1500, and I priced that out at 3,500 bucks. So about 1,300 bucks cheaper just on that. So that's just a suspension. The wheels and tires, they're gonna be very close to each other. I'm not even gonna sit here and try to compare those two, because wheels are wheels, tires are tires, different load ratings, whatever the case may be, but you'll be within $100, I'm sure, if you got the same wheels for an 8-lug or same wheels for a 6-lug. So one thing also talking about on diesels are, so fuel system. Fuel injectors for a 2014 Ram 1500 5.7 liter Hemi, the fuel injectors on that are gonna be $200 shipped. For a diesel, you're looking at $4,500 shipped. So huge difference there. We're looking at $4,300 difference. So that's, the fuel side is pretty expensive on these engines. I mean, everything on a diesel engine, I want to say, is 3 to 4 times the cost of what it would be on a gas engine. That's just me thinking out loud. So yeah, that's one big comparison there. The CP3 on a diesel engine is about 800 bucks. That's just the stock one from Bosch. I found that on Rock Auto. I found the price of all this actually on Rock Auto. Tuning. Looking at tuning for a gas truck, I want to say you're going to be around $300-400 bucks if you want to do a tuner. For a diesel, if you want to do a good reputable tuning package, say EFI, EasyLink, MM3, Double R diesel that I use, you're going to be looking, I say give or take a few, about 1,500 bucks. That's the programmer itself, and then the tuning on top of that, whether it's 5 or 6 sets of tunes with a trans tuning. That's going to be about $1,000 more than it is going to be on a gas motor. So those are things to think about if you're going to buy a diesel to, customize it. Take those things into consideration. So what I'll do is I'll give you guys a number. I'll give you a number of what the first owner spent on the truck. And he didn't tell me this. This is just me doing research on the parts that are installed. And then I'll give you the number of what I've spent on the truck since I've had it. And they're fairly close to each other. So when I got the truck, it had pretty much the suspension, the wheels and tires, and a few other odds and ends. That rounded out to be about $13,500. Yes, $13,500 of customized equipment that I got on the truck when I bought it. That doesn't include labor. When you talk about labor on a lift kit of this caliber, the BDS 4-link 6-inch kit with dual shock hoops, I want to say you're going to spend about there's 8 to 10 man hours, and every man hour, let's say, is $75 to $100. So there you go. There's $800 in labor just to install it. And I'm pretty sure it's even more than that. I'm probably at the low end of side of things. So yeah, that's just parts. That's not the actual cost of everything installed. So what I have in it is, what I've spent on this truck is close to $12,000. So that's the performance stuff, the second gen swap, that's the tuning, that's the little things too, the lights, all the things that come with performance wise for this truck have been done with the exception of fuel. So that didn't make sense. All right, and since I've had this truck, I've put about, all in all, $12,000 into the truck. Previous owner put about $13,500, and I've put about $12,000. So big total overall, as this truck sits today, is almost $26,000. So that's a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm all high and mighty and I have all this money and I put it into my truck, yada, yada, yada. I've been fortunate enough to be put in a position where I can afford this truck and to customize it as I'd like. So I'm very grateful for that. But at the big end of things, you guys got to think about is customizing. You see these SEMA trucks, you see these guys that have these big awesome trucks that say that have a YouTube channel or on Instagram or whatever the case may be. Man, those people are putting some money into those vehicles and it is crazy. Like, my truck looks just, to me, simple lifted truck with wheels and tires. But you don't see all the other odds and ends. It's not powder coated underneath. It's not got a gazillion rock lights, and I'm not sponsored by anybody or anything like that. So some of these guys are, man, and that's awesome. Good on them. I hope to be there someday too, to get parts from companies and keep building and building and building different vehicles. So not to bash on those guys at all, man. That's awesome for them. But yeah, just what I wanted to make this video today was just about like what it costs to actually build one of these trucks. When it comes to, say, just making it look awesome, mall crawler status, or whatever the hell you want to call it, with the lift wheels and tires, or just, do you want to build a performance build? They're both freaking expensive builds if you're going to just do one or the other, or you're going to combine them, kind of like what I'm trying to do. You're going to pay. And that's been my kind of motto in life, is you got to pay to play. Nothing comes cheap. If it did, everybody else would have it. So, yeah, like I said, I'm fortunate enough to have what I have now, and my next vehicle is going to be a sports car, and that's going to come around when this truck's paid off, and that's going to be a lifelong project for me that I'll probably have over $100,000 into. So that's my passion, is going to be that car. This truck is my dream truck, and that car is my dream car. So yeah, today I just wanted to cover basics of what it costs to build a diesel, and are you able to afford it, thinking big picture. Some people get locked in and say, hey man, I just want a diesel, it's going to be awesome. And next thing you know, the parts are 3 to 4 times more expensive than a Dodge, not a Dodge, but just a regular gas motor truck. And these trucks weigh a heck of a lot more than those half tons. So if you're looking at racing other trucks, then you have to put a hell of a lot more money into it too, because they are a heck of a lot more bigger. So I hope that helps you guys out today with considering if you're going to buy a diesel truck and what it costs to actually build them. So I'm not going to sit here and break down everything because I've already told you what I have on another video of what's done to the truck, but just a big picture number-wise of what the truck has done to it. Hopefully that helps you out. So once again, guys, I appreciate you watching. Thanks for all the subscribers. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for all the likes. If you guys can, let's just keep this going so we can get this channel to keep growing. So once again, appreciate you guys, everything that you guys do. We'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks.